This week, the BPT pros are taking on Toledo Bend Reservoir in Texas. With over 180,000 surface acres and over 1,200 miles of shoreline, the anglers have a lot of water to cover to find the biggest bass in the lake. The last time Major League Fishing came to Toledo Bend Reservoir in January, the tournament was won by Cody Huff. He was targeting suspended bass that were chasing shad in creek channels and drains leading into the backs of creeks. He was targeting these fish with forward-facing sonar using a jigging spoon and swim baits. To give a higher level perspective on past top 10 tournament finishes on lowland reservoirs in January and February, we pulled data from the Deep Dive app. As you can see, close to 70% of the top 10 finishes came fishing offshore in open water in January and February. You can also see that the majority of the bass will be setting up in their winter patterns in January, but then transitioning to their pre-spawn patterns in February. Right in the middle of this transition, so you can expect to see about 50% of the fish in their winter patterns and the other 50% in their pre-spawn patterns. One major factor this week will be the rising water levels on Toledo Bend. The lake has come up 2.5 feet in the past 7 days, which has brought a lot of stained water into the backs of creeks. Looking at the water clarity map in the Deep Dive app, we can see that the water was relatively clear across Toledo Bend Reservoir before it started to rise. However, with all of the rain, the backs of a lot of major creeks have become dirty, and the overall water visibility across Toledo Bend has decreased dramatically. Historically, the most top 10 tournament finishes have come fishing offshore ditches with grass. However, the major change in water clarity across the lake could impact these offshore grass areas, making the clear water areas with standing timber and hard spots more productive this week. The number of creeks with clear water have also decreased a lot over the past week. This may congregate anglers on the lower end of Toledo Bend in the few creeks that do still have clear water, especially if they're targeting their fish with forward-facing sonar. Another factor that may help offshore anglers this week on Toledo Bend is the wind. Normally, when the wind is strong on Toledo Bend, it makes navigating and fishing offshore difficult. However, over the first few days of competition, there are going to be very light winds. Winds will be picking up later in the week, which may benefit shallow water anglers who are hoping to target the warming, dirty water in the backs of creeks. To keep up with the changing conditions on Toledo Bend Reservoir, download the Deep Dive app to get access to the water clarity and wind effects maps. You can find it on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Good luck to the anglers on the water.